Los
San Francisco meetup. A few quick housekeeping announcements. We are in search of a venue for the next 2 months. Automatic's got a lot of stuff going on. So everybody knows we're great venue for us to use for the next 2 months. Dealing pro bono, proposal is for WordPress communities in space. Please let me know. We've got a couple of great leads, but definitely on the search for the perfect spot. Also, when the meetup is over, please help us out by folding up your shares and putting them, Kyla, in the corner.
I'll pull it back up.
In the rack that we pulled out. Also, please put all your trash in the appropriate bin. That means compost, recycling, and landfill. Thank you very much to all our sponsors. Our sponsors, as always, include Automatic, the creators and supporters of WordPress. We also give us amazing space. You get all pizza and delicious beverages for us to enjoy. So thank you a million, Automatic. Thank you especially. Without further ado, we have two speakers tonight. We have Trent, who I'll introduce shortly, and to start with, we have Cole. Cole is a badass WordPress developer, extraordinaire, Esquire. And he works at Make during the day on their blog, which is hosted at WordPress AJAX, which is a really great WordPress installation, which Jake spoke with us last week, it also works on. So we've got a consistency month with Make folks. So Cole's going to talk to us today about AJAX and WordPress. Yes, all right, awesome. And so big round of applause for Cole.
AJAX! Yay! Come on! Yay! Alright, so my name is Cole Geissinger. I'm a web developer for Maker Media, which is the main company behind Maker Magazine and Maker Fair. We push out tons of content daily, all about anything dealing with making stuff. So that would be like people doing awesome stuff with 3D printers, robotics, Arduinos, Raspberry Pis, not the actual pie that we eat. All that fun stuff. So we bundle all that into a quarterly magazine and so push it out onto our WordPress blog, where we get tons of traffic on it. And lastly, Maker Fair, which I help take care of the website for that, where we bring in makers, the people that do all these awesome things, and give them space to actually come together for 2 days and show off all the stuff that they're building today. So I don't want to bore you too long about my stuff. We're here about AJAX and responsibilities. So to start off, what is AJAX? Who actually knows what AJAX is? Who uses AJAX? Who's just here for free pizza? Yeah, pizza's awesome. So AJAX is actually a four-letter acronym. It stands for Asynchronous JavaScript and XML. Now don't let the XML part throw you off. you don't necessarily need to actually use XML. The most common language actually to use instead of XML is JSON, which is something that I prefer to do, and we'll touch into that in a little bit. For this presentation, I actually put together a small little plugin that just shows AJAX doing what it does best, which is basically synchronizing with your server when you make a request, and it will go to the server, process some code for you, and then send it all back without needing to refresh your browser. And you can actually go and download this plugin. I know the GIF doesn't really, or GIF, sorry, doesn't really show it. It's GIF. So here I actually have it installed. I'm running the latest version of WordPress Trunk, which is 3.7, and this is the new 2014 theme that they're putting together. So the idea is I will just put in some awesome text there, and it will normally work. Ouch. See, that's why I hate doing live ones. That's why I took a picture of it. So the idea is you put the text together, push the button, it runs a request, and injects it into the body of the content. So let's dive into that and see how this works. Here is a snippet of the code from the plugin that I have, and I like to use a technical OOP. I know it's a little more complicated sometimes, but when doing plugins, that's just, I think, a better way to do it. So what we have is we have two functions. One is runs what's known as WP and Q script, and this is a technique that everyone should be using. You should never be hard coding your JavaScript files into the header of your theme or even your style sheets. So you want to use this function to enqueue your JavaScript files with WordPress. And from there, when you've done that, you take that function and hook it within WordPress. So let's dive in a little bit. The first function is WP and Q script, and it takes 5 parameters. The first is the handle, which is a unique identifier for that script specifically. So you can use that ID within WordPress to say, hey, I want to load this script here, or I want to load it there, or I want to remove it here, or whatever. The next is the source attribute, which is the URL to the script. This is obviously the path that you want to put in. And there's 2 ways to do that. If you're building it for a theme, you would actually use, what I prefer is get style sheet directory URI that really goes and gets the full URL path to your theme, wherever it is, and it will go and get that file. The next is, if you're building it for a plugin, you can use plugins_URL. The last 3 parts really aren't required, but it's generally a good idea to know what they're doing. So one of them is depths, which is dependencies. It's a way of saying that this JavaScript file depends on JavaScript. Not JavaScript, on jQuery. So we can say that this script should only load after jQuery is loaded. So WordPress will do its thing, load jQuery, and then it will load yours when it hits that file. The next line is versions, and that is really just stacking a version number onto your script. So it's a way of being able to do caching, and you can change that number, or refresh the cache for you, stuff like that. If you don't fill it in, just put in the WordPress current version number. So in my instance, it would be 3.7. And the last is in footer, which is saying I want to enter this script in the footer might be by default loaded in the head. The last part that you want to do is actually tell WordPress that you want to load this script in with your theme. And what we do is we use add action, and we hook onto WP and Q scripts. Now you'll find lots of documentation throughout the internet just saying WP print scripts. It's not the proper way to do it because it actually loads it a little bit too late. We'll still do it, but the proper way to actually do it is WP and Q scripts. So you're wanting to enqueue it. You don't want to use it because it will cry. The next thing you want to do is use WP localized script. Now this function actually was built for doing translations. So like, if you're building a plugin that needs to be translated into another language, we normally use this, but you can also use it to your advantage to put in arbitrary JavaScript. And that's exactly what we're going to use it here. And within WordPress, there's this awesome file called admin AJAX, which is an AJAX processor. It will take any AJAX request that you send to WordPress, process it, and send the data back for you to handle. So we're going to use this function here to bring that out onto the front end of our theme, so we have something to hook onto within our AJAX. And don't worry, I'll be coming back to some of these to kind of connect the dots a little bit. We're going to break that script down just a little bit. To start off, it has a handle, which is just like WP script, but actually, this handle, you want it to match what you put into your WP script. So within WP localized script, you'd actually want to use this exact same handle. So that way, it makes a connection between those two scripts. The next attribute is object name. This is essentially a name spacing to contain your arbitrary JavaScript with it. I'll show you an example of that in just a minute. And then last is L10N, which is, or I10N, sorry. It's basically means internationalization, but you just essentially feed it an array that puts a path to your AJAX script, to the WordPress AJAX script. Now we're actually on the fun stuff, the AJAX part of it. It's a little intimidating at first, but the script's actually really basic. What we're doing here is we're essentially creating a click event listener and running our actual AJAX. So let me slide back. On our little form here that we have, I have a submit button at the end. Basically, I've attached an event listener there, so when the user clicks on that subscribe button, or sorry, the submit button, it will then go and run this script. I'll go too far. Sorry. This script. So it will run this script here once that event actually happens. You can see this is our event listener. We basically have a class that we're looking for, and when that element is clicked, we then tell the script that, hey, we don't want it to submit the form because that's kind of the opposite of AJAX. And that's doing that with event default. So after that, we actually run our AJAX from there. And I'm going to try to break this down a little bit. To do this, we're going to use jQuery. That's just my language of choice. You can really do AJAX in any kind of JavaScript-based language. And so we're going to start that off by saying that this is going to be a post. And you can relate that to the action attribute on your form. You can do post or get. They both have their different reasons for using it. For this specific script, I'm going to use post. From there, I'm going to say what type of data I'm actually passing through AJAX, which is JSON. And the next is URL. Now, I'm going to connect the dot here a little bit. What you see here is actually the script that we put together in WP localized script. So first off, we have object name, and if we look in this script here, you can see that it's WCSF example, or I'm sorry, WCSF AJAX, and obviously I have WordCamp on mine when I wrote this. That is our object name. If we come back to the AJAX, you'll see now that we have WCSF_AJAX. That's the object name that we put together. Within that object exists our AJAX URL, which as you can see at the end, AJAX URL, which creates the URL to our AJAX string. So essentially that's what is happening there. It's making that connection now. We're going to grab our object and then grab the AJAX URL from inside of there. So that way we know where to process this AJAX request. Next is the data field. This is literally the actual objects that, or the data that we want to send through the AJAX request to have the server process and then spit back to us. The first option in here is action, which this is required for WordPress to actually process this properly, know where to send it, process the information, send it back. And in this case, I decided to name it WCSF_AJAX. Not the best naming convention, but it works for this example. The next is the data area, probably do that better. Data is just a random array name that I gave this, or an object name, sorry. And basically what that does is it goes to the input field, grabs the data that the user inputted in, and then pulls that value out to send to the AJAX. The last two fields is more of a security check. This is a way of saying that, hey, I sent this request. I want this I actually want this data to be sent. And the last is the nots, which everyone should be using nots anytime you're doing server stuff. That's a WordPress-centered function that creates a quick little serialized key for you. So, with all that data, we're going to take all of that, send it to the server. When that happens, our complete function will run. And I'm going to come back to that in just a minute because there's some other steps in front of that we're going to come to. Sorry. So, when our function runs, So when our function runs, or when our AJAX runs, we have our action at the top, just WCSF_AJAX. That actually links it over to this function here. And the way how, oh geez, I totally ruined my slides, I'm sorry. Okay, so when action runs, it will link up the AJAX with our public function here that I've written. And this function will then take our data that we send with AJAX, process it, and then send back the data and modify the server. So what we do here, we're doing a couple checks for our submission, and then also our nots, which is our security checks, to make sure that, yes, I want to send this data, and yes, it is secure. So go ahead and actually process that information now. So he strips out a whole bunch of excess, any kind of like bad like JavaScript that somebody may be trying to inject into our website, or other kind of bad code that we don't want in there. And it will take that data, encode it into JSON, and then send it back to the server. The last little thing that I want to point out in this script is the die function at the end. This is a function that you want to throw at the end of your AJAX request, because otherwise WordPress actually will output a 0 at the end of your JSON array, and that usually leads to parsing errors and other issues that you don't want. So you want to always attach that at the end of your script. So, once all that happens, your result should be this. Fill in the text, hit the submit button, AJAX will process your request, and then the server will inject it into the page for you. After that, it's party time. You can relax. And hopefully that information stuck. So I'm sure there's probably a lot of questions. Any questions? Real AJAX experts now? Yes?
What are some places on the site that you use AJAX? Like, what are some exchanges or things you recommend?
So some areas would be, the best one would be Maker Faire, probably. And we have a whole application process that we build, where makers can sign up and put in their application for their event that they're putting together. And that application is broken up into multiple pages. So an instance of that would be like when they're ready for the next page, it runs an AJAX request, saves all that information into the database, and presents the next screen for them.
Instead of the page refresh.
Right. Yeah.
What about your login plugin?
My what?
Your login plugin.
Oh, I have a plugin. It's available. It's all about AJAX stuff. It's called WP Mobile Login. It's spectacular. It does what it does. It uses AJAX to log you in. You can also register accounts, reset your password. There's a bunch of other stuff that I'm baking into it, but it's still it's pretty basic as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. No? All right, well, thanks a lot, guys.
Okay, well, Trent's getting set up. Maybe developers. Who's hiring developers? Scott.
We're hiring WordPress developers at Make to work on cool things like Make and Maker Faire and other stuff like that. Emphasis on PHP experience and doing awesome things. We're up in Sonoma County, FYI. So we're not here.
Who hiring designers?